Good morning, everyone. I am Farah Shanik. I'm a PhD student in Clinton University, and now I'm working with Dr. Amy Apon. And my interest is focused on how to apply the high-performance computing to machine learning problems. Today, I will talk about the equivalence terms of the text search bundle. But before we start, I want to ask you a quick question. Are you familiar with the movie features? Please select the answer, and the result will be shared at the end of the presentation. So today we will talk about the equivalence term of the text search bundle, and there are different types that we want to talk about, which is the initialism, the abbreviation, the synonyms by using the movie features, and the similarity based on the context and how we can handle that using the word-to-vec algorithm. At first, what is the text search? The text search bundle is an open source project from LexisNexis that supports the searching for XML documents. Last spring, I've worked with 4 undergrad students with Dr. Apon and John Holt to improve some features in this project. And I've extended this work to include the equivalence term by working with Kevin and Roger last summer. So the equivalence terms are an essential capability for the text search because it improves the performance of any text search engine or any text search tool. So in order to do that and improve the performance, there are many types or forms of the equivalence terms to be considered. As I said or mentioned before, the initialism, the state name abbreviation, the synonyms, and the similarity based on the context. First, the initialism or the equivalence of the initialism and the abbreviation. The initialism and the abbreviation can be defined as a word or a phrase that represent the whole term. For example, if we have the term U.S., which is an initialism for the United States, or if we have the term CA, which is an abbreviation of California. So the text can contain either the initialism with punctuation or without punctuation. So any search tool or any search engine using any form should define the string either with punctuation or without when we handle the initialism problem. So here if we can see in the list of the screen that we have the term U.S. in the text or in the dataset that we use for searching. And how we handle that, in the other screen, we see that we've added a new entries for each letter in this term without the punctuation. So here, the text search will be able to return the set of the documents that contain the term with or without the punctuation, and initialism term. Here we can see an example of the state name abbreviation. So if the user use any search query that use either the California or CA, which is an abbreviation of the California state, we are able to return the set of documents that contain any form of these terms. Now the equivalence of the synonyms. The synonyms can be defined as two words or a phrase mean the same thing in the same language. So the text search must be able to return not only the document that contains the target word, but also return all the documents that contain the synonyms for this word in the search query. In order to do that, we use some data set called the movie thesaurus, which is an open source dataset that contains around 30,000 root words with 2.5 million synonyms. Here we see that how we link the movie thesaurus with the text search bundle by build a dataset for the term and related it to the set of the synonyms for the term. And here an example of the set of the synonyms for the target word or the term Abaddon. The equivalence based on the similarity of the context or on the context. We use some algorithm called word-to-vec. The word-to-vec is as a quick summary for the word-to-vec algorithm. It takes as an input a large corpus of the text and produce a vector space of several hundred dimensions, with each unique word in the corpus being assigned with a corresponding vector in the space. So the word vectors are positioned in the vector space such that the words that share the common context in the corpus are located in close proximity to one another in the space. So here the word-to-vec algorithm used in the text search bundle to find the similar words of the search query that share the common context in the corpus. Here we have an example for the search query, which is the school, and we see here how we return the set of the terms that are share the common context for the school, not only the synonyms for the school. We can see that we have the teachers, the classes, the students, which share the same context with the school. And here we see that we have a full query, a full text search query, which is the students in school, and we see that each term in this query related with the set of words that share the common context. So, as the result of using the word-to-vec, we see how we return the set of documents that that have either the terms in the search query or the words that share the same meaning for the text search query for the previous search query, which is the students in the school. I have another question. Will this new text search bundle be useful in your work? Please select the answer.
Okay, wonderful. So this is a very fast presentation, so you may not have had a moment to get your questions in, but for the audience, go ahead and take a moment. If you have questions that you'd like to bring forth, we would love to see those, and we'd love to answer those. And so while you're doing that, and to give Farah an opportunity to go in and prioritize the questions, we've got a quick review of the first poll. So the first poll was, are you familiar with the Mobifosaurus? And 90% of you said that you weren't familiar. So hopefully, if you answer this second poll question, hopefully you have found something that you can use in your work coming up. All right, perfect. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick peek at our questions from the audience. So here's one. Will the use of word-to-vec replace traditional search engines?
In my opinion, the word-to-vec will not replace the traditional search engine, but it will improve the performance of the text search engine.
Would you be able to elaborate a little bit more on how this might improve the text search? Looks like that's another question that came in.
Yeah, okay. We see that when we use the word-to-vec, we will return the set of the words that share the common that have the same meaning. Not only the synonyms of the text, but it's share the same context. So when we see the query school, it's we have the students, which is not synonyms of the school, but it's related to the school. So by using this word-to-vec, the performance of the search engine will be improved.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the results of your second poll question. And that question was, would this new text search bundle be useful in your work? And it looks like 36%, so almost a third there, a little over, say that it would be useful. So that's good to know. And especially considering that 90% hadn't heard of it, that's positive. And 63% say that they're not sure, so the other 2/3. But no one said no, so that's good. Hopefully everyone has something new to consider that will help them in their future. All right. Sarah, thank you so much.